It's been 10 years since Michael Wood's life began anew. That's when the now married father of two made what could have been a fatal decision. MTN's Shannon shares his powerful story of gratitude and hope as we continue our MTN Zero Suicide initiative.
A double life.
I just kind of panicked that my life was exposed of these two lives, all these lies. And I had to come up with an explanation of it, and I was really too proud, and I didn't really want to admit to my family that I was kind of lying to them and that I felt like I was supposed to be the responsible one.
Now 27-year-old Michael Woods describes his 16-year-old self, a dichotomy of who he was with different people.
Coming to school either stoned or drunk or both, and just depending on, and it kind of created this barrier between my family and I, which it always seems to just snowball effect, where it was I was living these two lives where my family, I was the good boy, you know, like got good grades, and then the bad boys for my friends, where I was the comedian and the drunk and the stoner and all that.
The burdensome effort to keep up both lives, both versions of himself, caused problems in his relationships, which led to him being bullied and beat up, and eventually Mike lost his job.
Deeply hated myself for who I had become, and felt like I was out of control, and there was no turning back, and there was no way to get back to the potential I had.
Mike describes the loss of his job as the tipping point in his thinking. He drove to one of his favorite fishing spots.
Parked there, and I was just smoking cigarette after cigarette, trying to calm down and figure out what I was going to do, and I just kind of realized how much I really hated myself, and I had thought of suicide off and on the past few years. And I had a split second of consciousness afterwards. Then
he blacked out. The next thing he remembered was waking up in the hospital as doctors brought him out of an induced coma.
What path of the bullet did the bullet take, and what parts of the brain did it really affect? If it don't hit only parts of my brain, that affects motor functions.
Mike describes before and after his suicide attempt like night and day. His relationships, behavior, and attitude changed. He considers his survival a miracle. Since
then, I've kind of realized how lucky I am, and it's really been a gift that I've been given, and that I need to pass it on. And to help people really realize what I now see is that life is incredibly beautiful, and that you can't take anything for granted.
He shares his renewed attitude and outlook with people of all ages across the state, giving presentations and hope, a plea for others who may be experiencing what he did to reach out and get help.
Reach out for that help, take that first step, and it's only going to get better from there.
In Great Falls, Shannon, MTN News.